Hello, my name is Rosché, and I've been teaching virtually since March. It was a crazy time with a home studio shifting overnight into a virtual studio. But on the other end now, 7 months later, it's been really exciting to see the resiliency and the open-mindedness and creativity of my studio. We've all been forced to be creative this year and to figure out how to pivot and to figure out what each day is going to look like for us and our needs. And I'm really, really happy that my students are still finding ways each week to make music and to learn and to grow and to get better every single day. It's been really fun to watch my voice students figure out how to use their voices and to become independent musicians. Many of them have made recordings of themselves performing this year, and they use a recorded accompaniment or they record themselves playing the piano. And this kind of new technology and new way of performing, I don't think is going to go away and opens up so many opportunities for my students in the future. A couple of my students performed at the Schmidt vocal competition this past weekend. They enrolled for the Boulder, Colorado competition and submitted their videos of themselves singing, and it was so exciting that they could do this performance opportunity and get feedback from judges they otherwise wouldn't have been able to meet because it was virtual. And so we're really embracing the new opportunities that virtual learning allows us. Some of the things have remained the same, of course. We still have one-on-one lessons each week, and some of my students have even used this opportunity to have more than one lesson a week. And some of my students have actually been able to have earlier lesson times because there's now no commute, or we can fit their lesson into their school day, which has been really exciting for both of us. And I think my students are also figuring out that that one-on-one time with a teacher is really, really valuable to them. And the individualized lessons are still a part of what we do virtually. And there's even some recorded content that we have now because of the technology we're using, that students can go back and view their lessons outside of their lesson time and keep learning and keep growing. And so we're finding ways to use this time, this virtual learning time, to our advantage, to become better and to become stronger. Of course, there's things that we miss out on. Of course there are. I really miss giving my students big high fives when they've successfully sung or prepared something to perform that day. Or they've been working on something for a really long time and they finally nailed it. But we found that through use of emojis and through very enthusiastic responses virtually, we haven't missed much. And of course we look forward to the day when we can give that nice strong high five for a job well done. But we're finding ways to stay connected and to stay supportive, which has been really fun. My students have also found ways to connect with each other virtually and to support each other, to encourage each other to practice and to support each other on their musical goals, which is so humbling to see as a teacher. And I'm loving every minute of that. Some of my students are also figuring out that recorded competitions are better for them because they have some really strong nerves. And when they get nervous, sometimes those live performances can be really, really daunting. And so finding ways to perform still, but be able to record themselves beforehand has been really helpful to bridge that anxiety for those students who struggle with performance anxiety. And seeing them be strong, independent, and communicative performers is really, really exciting as a teacher. So when they're able to perform live again, I'm confident that their performance anxiety will be so much better because they've had more opportunities to perform this year than ever before. So although teaching virtually comes with some very difficult things, it's much more like the normal now. And I love that my students are not putting their goals, their musical goals, on hold during this time. Life is too short to not go after the goals that we have and to become better each day. And so some of them have really been wanting to learn a new song, and I've just been encouraging them to go for it. And some students have come to me because they've always wanted to learn how to sing, and now is their time to sing. And they're not putting their goals on hold because we had to move to virtual teaching. I love that this also offers the opportunity for students to have lessons with me if their families are traveling on vacation, if I'm traveling, if the weather's bad. We're here in Wisconsin with our first snow. If we're not feeling very well and have a cold but can still make music together, we can do that virtually, even when having in-person lessons are an option again. So I think at first we were really worried about virtual lessons, but seeing the progress that my students have made both as strong people and as musicians has really made me wonder why we were so worried in the beginning. So I'm really grateful for the students who have stuck with me and stuck with lessons and stuck with themselves and their goals this year and have accomplished so much these past several months. I'm so proud of you, and I'm so proud of you showing up for yourself every single week. So thank you for learning, and thank you for growing, and thank you for sharing your music. It's really important that we continue to make music together.